Sadhana is current, lineage of current, the stream, the current of pure love that is coming through Śrī Rūpa Goswāmī. We want to take bath in that stream.
So we're in this very special month of Kartik, and the divine appearance day of our Param Guru Mahārāj, Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣak, Śrīdhar Deva-Goswāmī Mahārāj is also approaching. And it's a time for all of us aspiring members of this mission, Śrī Chaitanya Sāraswat Maṭh, to think about, what are the ideals, what are the teachings of His divine grace, what does His mission stand for. And there's one verse that Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharaj wrote at the time when he was beginning this Maṭh. This was between 1941 and 1942. Officially hoisted the flag on Ratha Yatra Day of 1942. And this verse is, in his words, it's his declaration of who he is and what his mission stands for in a substantial sense. And that verse is śrīmach-chaitanya-sārasvata-maṭh-vara, udgīta-kīrtir, jayaśrīṁ, bibhrat, saṁbhāti, gaṅgā-taṭa-nikaṭa-navadvīpa-kolādrirāje, yatra, Śrī Gaurāṅga-sarasvata-maṭha-niratā, gaura-gāthā, gṛṇanti, nityaṁ, rūpa-nuga, kritamati, guru-gūraṅga, radhaji-tasha. And it's one of Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharaj's qualities is that he has this ability to express great depth of meaning in a very concise, condensed way. And this verse, there's so many layers of meaning here, and many references to expressions of our gurus in different places. So this verse starts out by describing this mission, śrīmach-chaitanya-sārasvata-maṭha-vara, as the best of all maths, as the most glorious of all maths, which, if you think about the context at the time, it was quite an extraordinary statement to make, because at that time our mission existed as this tiny little thatched hut. And in fact, one of the godbrothers of Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharaj, he was indeed the one who had purchased the land on which the Maṭh was constructed. He read this verse and he commented jokingly to our Gurudev, Śrīla Govinda Mahārāj, what is Śrīdhar Maharaj thinking? He's writing this big shloka and hoisting this big bamboo. Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharaj also purchased this expensive bamboo pole. And yet his Maṭh is this, tiny little simple ramshackle hut. What is he thinking? And our Gurudev repeated that comment to Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharaj, and Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharaj responded saying, if he will be alive in the future, he will see. And indeed that came to be. And Śrīla Govinda Mahārāj, our Gurudev, His Divine Grace Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Deva-Goswāmī Mahārāj, he was the one who realized this divine vision of Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharāj. How the Maṭh is existing in its conceptual form, in its substantial, spiritual, ideological form. Our Gurudev manifested that within the world in a tangible way through his dedicated, tireless seva and devotion, dedication for his Guru Mahārāj. So śrīmach-chaitanya-sārasvata-maṭh-vara, the best of all maths, udgīta-kīrtir, jayaśrīṁ, is describing this victory flag, jayaśrīṁ, which is flying high, udgīta-kīrtir, announcing the glory of this Maṭh and everything that it stands for. Bibhrat, saṁbhāti, gaṅgā-taṭa-nikaṭa, where is this Maṭh situated? Everything's very precise, and also consistent with the whole ideal of our Guru Varga, as a whole. So it is situated on the banks of the Ganges, right? Mother Gaṅgā, right? She is known as being extremely merciful, purifying the fallen souls of this world. And she's also a part of Gaura Lila, right? So we understand, Nabadwip, bibhrat, saṁbhāti, this Maṭh is shining gaṅgā-taṭa-nikaṭa, on the banks of the Ganges, Nabadwip and Nabadwip, right? So immediately we understand, our focus is on Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaura Lila, and this is something very important in the whole approach of our Guru Varga, Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharaj, our mission, right? That our approach is through the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu. And by their grace, we can have some connection with Śrī Śrī Rādhā Krishna and the Vrindavan Leela. Yata yata gora pradara vinde vindeta bhaktim gita punyarasi tata tatot sarpita hridya kasmat radha paramboja sudambu rasi. This is Prabodhananda Saraswati, very beloved verse to our Param Guru Maharaj, saying as much as we will give ourselves to the lotus feet of Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so much we will automatically feel the nectar of the divine service of Śrīmati Radharani flowing within our hearts. So our whole culture, is Nabadwip, Gaura Lila, the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, right? Nityananda Mahaprabhu, they are Patit Pavan avatar, saviors of the fallen. So our whole focus is there. And so this is Nabadwip, right? The banks of the Ganges. And then where within Nabadwip, right? Nabadwip, remember, is non-different from Vrindavan, right? Nabadwip is Vrindavan in the dress of magnanimity, right? So all the quality of rasa, right, is all present in Nabadwip with this added quality of benevolence, generosity, distribution. Vrindavan is distributing itself. The sweetness of Vrindavan, the profundity of rasa in Vrindavan is being distributed, right, in Gaura Lila. Krishna Lila Mrita Sar Tar Shata Shata Dar Dash Dike Vahe Jaha Hoite Se Chaitanya Lila Hoy Sadohar Akshoy Mano Hamsa Chadaha Tahate. Very beloved verse to our Gurudev, Srila Govinda Mahārāj, and which was recognized and appreciated by Srila Śrīdhar Maharaj, verse of Kaviraj Goswami, right? That Vrindavan Leela, Krishna Leela, it is described as Amritasar, Leela Amritasar. It is the essence of all nectar. It is the most condensed form of nectar. And in Nabadwip, in Gaura Leela, all of that nectar is being distributed very generously, as if from a lake from which there are hundreds and thousands of streams, tar, shata, shata, are coming out in all directions, right? So Mahaprabhu is Krishna giving himself, right? He's giving Krishna in the mood of Śrīmati Radharani. So here we are in Nabadwip, right? And we can also mention here, right, some of the background. Srila Śrīdhar Maharaj, when he came to establish his mat, this was in the aftermath of his Guru Maharaj, his Prabhupada Saraswati Ṭhākur's departure from this world. And, the mission was breaking apart, and our Param Guru Maharaj was considering, he spent a month, the month of Kartik, around this time in Vrindavan area, and was deciding, where shall I spend my final days? And considering, right, Vrindavan, Puri, or Nabadwip. And in his humility, finally decided, Nabadwip is the place of the fallen souls. And so he made that decision. He first took permission from Nityananda Prabhu. He's the Dhameshwar, master of the Dhām, and went to Ekachakra and made that prayer, right, asking for his blessings. And at that time, Nityananda Prabhu gave his instruction, you must give the mercy that you already have, right? You've already received so much mercy from your gurus, and you're asking me for more. You must share what you have. And so taking that order on his head, Srila Śrīdhar Maharaj came to establish his small mission of Śrī Chaitanya Sāraswat Maṭh, considering, well, I will not go out and canvass after people, but if the souls will come to me in need of shelter, I will accept them and give them what shelter I can give, right? And then later, by our Gurudev's, entreaties, then Srila Śrīdhar Maharaj, he began to accept souls on a wider scale, right? Namely, when there was this influx of Westerners coming in the aftermath of Swami Maharaj Prabhupada's departure from this world. By the plea of our Gurudev, Śrīla Govinda Mahārāj, then Śrīla Śrī Maharaj also accepted those souls, although in the beginning he was also hesitant about that. And so Śrīla Śrī Maharaj, he, with this blessing from Nityananda Prabhu, he came to establish his Maṭh in Nabadwip. But where precisely in Nabadwip, right? This Nabadwip, which is corresponding with Vrindavan, within Nabadwip, these 9 islands, he specifically selected Koladwīp, right? This is one of these 9 islands. And this is highly significant, right? For a number of reasons. Primarily that this island of Koladwīp, it is corresponding with the area of Govardhan in Vrindavan. So Koladwīp is considered to be Gupta Govardhan. And this is also very much in line with the whole vision and ideal of our gurus, right? Rupa Goswami in his Upadeshamrita, right? He's describing the ontology of the spiritual sky, and he's identifying Radha Kund as the highest place, and just one step below that is Govardhan, right? So that verse, Vaikunta Janito Vadamadupuri Tatrapira Sutsava Drinda Vanyamudada Pani Ramana Tatrapi Govardhana Radha Kunda Mihapi Gahulapate Prema Mita Blavana Koryad Asya Virajato Giritate Sevam Vivekinaka. And so he's establishing, right, Vaikunta, right, the Mathura, Vrindavan, Govardhan, Radha Kund is the highest place. And then our gurus, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Ṭhākur and our Gurudev, our Param Gurudev, they discuss, right, that, we will stay one step below, right, Govardhan, right. We will stay in Govardhan, a safe distance from the highest place of service, and we will go to assist our gurus in the day in their service to Radha Krishna, Radha Govinda, and then we will return to our safe position in Govardhan. And Govardhan has also been described as, an area of great mercy, right? Krishna, in his Giriraj aspect in Govardhan, he is representing a very sweet, affectionate, magnanimous mood, right? So Govardhan is very special, very significant for a number of reasons. So it's particularly in this area that Śrīla Śrī Maharaj established his mission. Additionally, this area is known as Aparad Banjam Path, right? The place where all offenses are excused. So we understand, right, Navadvip already is the place of the greatest mercy, right? But within that place of the greatest mercy, this particular area of Aparad Banjam Path is the most merciful, the most magnanimous, right? So it is particularly here, because in Gaura Lila, right, in Mahaprabhu's pastimes, it was in this place that he excused the most terrible offenders. So it is a place of very concentrated mercy. So here, particularly, Śrīla Śrī Maharaj established his mission. And then this verse continues. So we've identified, the glory of this mission, where it's located, the significance of that. Then what do they do there? What do the residents of this glorious mission do? Yatra's there. Yatra, Śrī Gaura-Sārasvata-Maṭh, gaura-gāthā, gṛṇanti. The residents of this Maṭh, their head is sold to the feet of Mahaprabhu. And particularly, as coming through Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Sāraswati Ṭhākur. Right, so Gaura-Sārasvata is indicating this line and this particular, mood and style of practice, right? So this line from Mahaprabhu to Bhakti Siddhanta Sāraswati Ṭhākur. So Sriman Mahaprabhu, Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, according to the understanding and presentation of Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Sāraswati Ṭhākur, right? And we know that, in the centuries following Mahaprabhu's departure from this world, his whole lineage went into great degradation, and was Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhakti Siddhanta Sāraswati Ṭhākur, who again lifted, Mahaprabhu's mission up and showed the glory, the dignity, the purity of, what Gaudiya Vaishnavism is. And they also establish clearly, an understanding of what is an authentic practice of, Gaudiya Vaishnavism look like. Okay, there's devotion, but what is pure? What is Shuddha Bhakti? Pure devotion. There's the name, but what is the conception? What is the conception of the pure name, Shuddha Nam, and how can we truly practice that? Right? So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Ṭhākur put a lot of emphasis on the importance of, clean, pure, authentic practices. And he established a particular model in this world that would best facilitate that. And this phrase, Gaura-Sarasvata, there's also different layers of meaning here, right? Because Gaura-Sarasvata, Saraswata is indicating Saraswati Ṭhākur. Saraswata is also indicating a message, right? Or speech, right? The goddess Saraswati, the goddess of speech. And so Gaura-Sarasvata also means the message of Gaura, right? The message of Mahaprabhu. And Srila Śrīdhar Maharaj, in another composition, it's included in his introductory verses to Prapana Jivanamrita. He's playing on this idea, and there's a very beautiful, it's the second verse, I think, there. And he's like glorifying this deity as Gaura of Gaura-Saraswati, and conceiving of Saraswati Ṭhākur like as the personified message of Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Very beautiful. Gaurāvag vigraham vande, Gaurāṅgam Gaurāvaibhavam. So what are these members doing? The members of this Maṭh doing? gaura-gāthā gṛṇanti. Right? Their only business is with chanting the glories of Gaura. Right? Chanting the glories of Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, spreading his message, discussing, practicing what are his teachings, and spreading his glories, talking about his glories, talking about his teachings, and sharing that, distributing that with, those souls who are open, who are receptive to receiving that. This is their only business. In another place, Srila Śrīdhar Maharaj, he's discussing the significance of the name of this Maṭh, right? Śrī Chaitanya Sāraswat Maṭh. And he mentions there, our concern is with divine sound, and we're involved in Krishna conscious sound business. He uses a phrase like this, And, in a sense, like this is what the whole life of a sincere practitioner is, like almost blindly ignoring all the pulls, all the ideals, all the prospects of this world, and just paying exclusive attention to the Shabda, right? Śrīla Saraswati Ṭhākur, that divine sound, the current of divine sound, Anavriti Shabda. Saraswati Ṭhākur pulled this phrase from the Upanishads, I believe. It's in the Vedic literature. Anavriti Shabda, right? Liberation will come through sound, through divine sound. So Krishna conscious sound business. This is our exclusive concern, right? Shastra Chakshu, what is the eye? We're trying to develop the eye of scripture, not paying attention to the interpretation of our mind and senses. But what is the version of the revealed truth, right? Amnaya, what's coming down from the plane of Amnaya, right? What is their version, right? So gaura-gāthā gṛṇanti, we are concerned with that, right? Then nityaṁ rūpa-nuga kritamati guru gṛṇanga dadhājitash. And then rūpa-nuga, right? This is making things more refined, more precise, in the being specified here in the line of Śrī Rūpa. And this is very significant, right? Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had so many followers, and there are many lines that came from Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and went in different directions. But who is Śrī Rūpa, right? He is known as most beloved to the Lord, who understood the inner heart of Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and who was identified by Mahaprabhu, as the leader of his succession, his lineage, right? Śrī Chaitanya manobishtam stapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa kadamayam dadati swapadantikam. So we are, in a sense, followers of Śrī Rūpa, right? From Mahaprabhu to Rūpa, then what's being picked up by Bhaktisiddhanta Sāraswati Ṭhākur and coming out in a modern dress, we could say, to Bhaktisiddhanta Sāraswati Ṭhākur. But so Rupa Goswami is everything to us. And so it's being pointed out here, we are followers of Śrī Rūpa. And we can also mention here, it is well known amongst our, our family, when Saraswatī Ṭhākur was leaving this world, he specifically called for Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharaj and to come to him and to sing this song, Śrī Rūpa Manjari Pada, right? Which is highly significant. This song is a sacred anthem amongst the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and of course particularly amongst the followers of Śrī Rūpa, the Rupanuga group. Right? Saraswatī Ṭhākur was requesting different disciples to sing different songs, giving different instructions. And Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharaj, he had actually just been on night duty, so to speak, attending to Saraswatī Ṭhākur. Then he'd left, they had shifts, right? He left, went to take rest. This is early hours of the morning, maybe 3 in the morning. This was the very early hours of the 1st of January, 1937, according to Western calculation. And he'd gone to take rest, and Saraswatī Ṭhākur specifically called for him, brought him, as Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharaj says, from my bed, right? He called for me and requested him to sing this song, Śrī Rūpa Manjari Pada, which is expressing this extreme mood of devotion for the lotus feet of Śrī Rūpa. And Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharaj, he hesitated, actually, in his shyness and his humility, hesitated. And another, leading member of the group, he requested another person who was known for having a charming singing voice, asked them to sing instead. But Saraswatī Ṭhākur interrupted and said, no, I'm not interested in hearing the sweet tune. I want to hear Śrīdhar Maharaj sing this song. And then it was made very clear to the assembly there that and it was described by some of them, it was as if there was this mystic power transmission that took place, and that Śrīdhar Maharaj was given entrance, right, to this higher plane of service. And this was like this was universally recognized, right, amongst the assembly there. And there were other occasions too when Śrīla Saraswatī Ṭhākur indicated what was the position of Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharaj. And another one of Śrīla Śrīdhar Maharaj's compositions, Bhakti Vinod Viraha Dashakam, very extraordinary composition glorifying Bhakti Vinod Thakur. There's one verse in particular which is one of the most extraordinary things that has ever graced this earth, we could say. It's perfectly identifying what is the position, what is the specific contribution amongst the acharyas in the line of Mahaprabhu in connection with what is the highest gift of this line, Radha Dasyam, right? Radha Pada Sevanamrita Mota Data Misho Bhavan, right? And it's an extraordinary verse, and which is ultimately glorifying Bhakti Vinod Thakur as the giver of that greatest gift of all gifts. And when Prabhupada Saraswatī Ṭhākur read this, or it was read to him, this composition, he commented, and particularly this verse which we're mentioning impressed him, and he made a comment to the effect that now I am satisfied to know that when I leave this world, at least one man will remain behind who understands what I came to give. Then this last phrase, Guru Gaurāṅga Radha Jitasha, what is the aspiration that is being held in the hearts of the true members of Śrī Chaitanya Sāraswat Maṭh, this asha, this aspiration, this hope for the service of Guru, Gaurāṅga, Radha, Govinda, Radha Krishna, right? And this phrase is also echoing other expressions from our gurus. Raghunath Das Goswami, one of his important prayers, there's this similar expression, Radhika Madhavasham, right? Very significant prayer of Raghunath expressing his indebtedness to Śrī Guru, right? And this is the final gift that he mentions, right? Guru, who has given us the holy name, connection with Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Govardhan, Vrindavan, so on. And finally, Radhika Madhava, the aspiration to serve Śrī Śrī Rādhā Krishna, right? Actually, real Krishna consciousness exists as an aspiration. So this is the ideal, this is the aspiration, this is the hope of the true members of this mission. This is Śrī Chaitanya Sāraswat Maṭh, right? And we can consider ourselves very fortunate if we just have an aspiration to one day be accepted into the waiting room. This mission does not exist as a building, right? It is a particular ideal of life that is cherished in the heart of Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣak, Śrīdhar Deva-Goswāmī Mahārāj, Śrīla Bhakti Sundar, Govinda Deva-Goswāmī Mahārāj, and our Guru Varga. And so on, at this time in particular, we want to meditate upon these points and reevaluate ourselves and try to, reflect on how we can move a little closer, towards this high ideal of life and invite the blessings of our divine guardians as we attempt to go forward day by day. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣak Śrīdhar Deva-Goswāmī Mahārāj ki Jai, Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Deva-Goswāmī Mahārāj ki Jai, Śrī Chaitanya Sāraswat Maṭh ki Jai.
Śrī Rūpa Manjari Pada Sei Mara Saṁbhāti
Śrī Rūpa Manjari Pada Sei Mara Saṁbhāti
Sei Mara Bhajana Puja
Sei Mara Bhajana Puja
Sei Mara Pranadhan Sei Mara Yadharan
Sei Mara Pranadhan Sei Mara Yadharan
Sei Mara Jivane Jivan
Sei Mara Jivane Jivan
Sei Mara Rasanidhi Sei Mara Vancha Siddhi
Sei Mara Rasanidhi Sei Mara Vancha Siddhi
Sei Mara Vedera Dharan
Sei Mara Vedera Dharan
Sei Brata Sei Tap Sei Mara Mantra Jap
Sei Brata Sei Tap Sei Mara Mantra Jap
Sei Mara Dharma Karan
Sei Mara Dharma Karan
অনুকূল হবে বিধি সে পদে হইবে সিদ্ধি